A wolf, meeting a well-fed mastiff with a wooden collar about his neck, asked him who it was that fed him so well and yet compelled him to drag the heavy log about wherever he went. The master, he replied. Then said a wolf, may no friend of mine ever be in such a plight, for the weight of this chain is enough to spoil the appetite. I'd like to welcome you to Giami Journey. This is Folk Tales for Grown Folks, and I am your host, Brother Hatim. This is Giami Journey Radio, a Heart of a Simba production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Of course, you know, those of you that's been listening, that this is an Aesop fable. Translation is by George Fowler Thompson, and this is a good story because it kind of puts up a free canine up against an enslaved canine, or what would be considered slavery. And in my comments, I put freedom or slavery. They both are hard work. Now, the one thing I want to mention about this is that the wolf noticed that the mastiff, which is a very big dog in his own right, was very well fed. He noticed that, and maybe for a second, this wolf may have thought, well, hey, maybe I could get down with this. But then he saw the dog dragging a large log. For those who don't know, mastiffs are work dogs. So they do more than just guard. Even in some places where they couldn't afford horses, they would use dogs to do some of the heavy lifting. So you got this mastiff pulling this log with a wood collar and a long chain around his neck. And the wolf is interested in who feeds him so well but compels him to pull this log. And the dog responds to him. The master responds to him. The master. And the wolf replied, may no friend of mine ever be in such a plight, for the weight of this chain is enough to spoil the appetite. Now let's look at it from the other angle, because the dog could be looking at the wolf, because the wolf is coming up to him obviously a little bit hungry, because the wolf's got to hunt, and if the game is not out there, he can't get it. This dog is going to eat as long as the master is doing good. Now, but the wolf got to get out and hustle every day just to survive. Now, we got one judging the other, and when both of them have to work to eat, and this is a bottom line piece that a lot of people got to really understand. If you do not do the work, if you do not put in the sweat, whether you are living the life of the mastiff or living the life of the wolf, you're going to starve to death. You're going to be hungry. You know what I'm saying? Now the wolf looks at the dog's plight and understand that is not for him. You know what I'm saying? He understands that's not for him. And he would prefer to get out and hustle on his own, and hustle with his pack, and hustle and go out and catch deer and eat rabbits and whatever else he could find. He would rather live free in the way that he believes freedom is, rather than confine himself to the prison that he believed the dog in. But let's flip that, because the dog proudly says the master, which means that the dog, in a sense, receives benefits and probably is looking at the wolf in the same way. I go home to a warm place. They probably let him sleep inside. He probably gets to eat straight from the master's table, and he's happy. He's happy. As a matter of fact, he has gained enough weight where he can move a log. So this dog is happy. So we got one individual that's on the grind, struggling, looking and judging another animal or another canine that is on the grind and struggling. One is struggling for himself. The other is struggling for himself through his master. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is one of the pieces that I don't think anybody else will look at this. But both of these, the wolf and the master, both have masters. One master is external, the other's master is internal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to place judgment on either one. But what I want the people that's listening to think about is this. Are you motivated externally like the wolf? You know what I'm saying? Do you have that wolf mentality where you're going to go out and you're going to be your master and you're going to get up and do what you need to do every day to survive? Because everybody can't be the wolf. Or are you going to be the master? Are you going to be the one that's going to need to be prompted by the master, by a master? Do you need an employer in order to be your best? You know what I'm saying? Because that master could get off that chain and probably survive and run with wolves. But he chooses not to. You understand what I'm saying? He chooses not to. But then again, like I said, we don't know what's going on if he didn't have that collar on. But then again, according to how he responds, he says the master. You know what I'm saying? The master is who put this on me. You know? So the wolf looks at his plight and listens to his response. He says, I made no friend of mine ever be in such a plight. See, now the wolf, because the wolf is free, don't understand the concept of master. So he's like friend. Now, in a lot of cases, the boss is not your friend. In a lot of cases, the master is not your friend. So the wolf, first off, is already looking at this at an angle where he can't understand it. May a friend of mine never be in such a plight, for the weight of that chain is enough to spoil the appetite. So the wolf just looks at the chain and is no longer hungry. He no longer wants this dog's life, if he ever wanted the dog's life. You know what I'm saying? He's probably wondering, how are you so healthy? How is it that you're able to drag around this log all the time? I want in. But then he see the chain around the dog's neck and be like, nah. See, we got to understand. Some of us are meant to run free and master ourselves. Other of us are desired to work better up under the tutelage of somebody else, up under the guidance of somebody else. Everybody is not the entrepreneur. But either way, you got to hustle. Either way, if you want to stay on a plantation, for lack of a better term, if you want to stay in a place that this mastiff is in, you still got to hustle. And if you are the wolf, you got to hustle. So regardless of whether you are free or whether you are a slave, you have to hustle. You know what I'm saying? You have to work. You have to pull your load. You have to hunt your food. Either way, it's work. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people talking about they just want to be free, not really realizing what freedom is. Freedom is a hard thing to have, and it's even harder to maintain. Not saying that it can't be done, but I just want to approach everybody that's listening to me in honesty. The freedom that you want requires you to work and sacrifice for it while you're getting it, and especially after you have attained it. This is Brother High Tim. I want to thank you for listening. Coming into 2015, we are at the end of the year. Coming into 2015, we are going to be doing a folk tale a week on Tuesdays. The new shows will be available on Tuesdays. I'm going to be broadcasting at 5 a.m. on Tuesday mornings. All right, so one, I'd like to thank all those that's listening, because we are over 10,000 hits on Folk Tales for Grown Folks. I also want to let you know that I have a new show coming out. And it's called Thunderous Thursdays. Yes, yes, yes. Nobody wants to give Thursday the props. So I'm going to work with you on Thursday. We're going to turn Thursday into a great day, because a lot of times our energy is waning off and we're coasting through because we done did the work and we done pushed our way up the hill. And on Thursdays, we allow ourselves to coast into Fridays. I'm saying, no. Let's no longer coast into Fridays. Let's zoom into Friday and master Thursday and Friday and take it on into the weekend. All right? And then after the weekend, my man E.T. can get y'all on Monday. All right? He going to get y'all hyped up on that Thank God It's Monday. But now I'm talking about Thunderous Thursdays. You allowing your thunder to take over Thursdays. Now, also, in 2015, I will be releasing my site. I will be officially launching my site. And I invite you to check out my site. I invite you to register. Those that register will receive a newsletter. There's 4 levels that you could enter on, and I'm inviting you in. I'm inviting you to experience the journey on different levels. There's 4 different levels that you could look at it from. We have the free level. We have the red level, which is the basic level. We have the black level, which is the in between, and then we have the maximum, which is the green level, where I'm going to unleash as much as I can for you and upon you to help you make sure that you maintain the momentum that you have built up from 2014 to push you through 2015. Because remember, we said 2014 and beyond. This has been a great year for me. Yeah, it's been some struggles, but it's been a great year. So I'd like to thank all those that have pushed me over 10,000 hits on this show, on Folk Tales for Grown Folks. I invite you to join me for my other shows, and I invite you to join me on my new site. All right? Giammi Journey is still there. GiammiJourney.com is still there, but I have an addition. Man, what an addition. A great big addition. And it's going to give you a lot of information about the journey, at least the one that I'm walking, that can assist you in the journey that you're walking. Also, be on the lookout, because I'm putting the final touches on my latest book, Freedom Within Limits, Haikus by Hatim. I took my haikus and I done put them in a book. Now, it ain't just going to be a book of haikus. It's going to be a book about dealing with fear. It's going to be a book about dealing with obstacles. It's going to be a book about overcoming. Look, I'm putting it together. So I'm in the final stages. So be on the lookout. Once again, this is Giammi Journey Radio. This is a Heart of a Simple production. Where we strive to blow up your paradigms. Also, be on the lookout, because now I'm having some sponsors get in touch with me. So I will be announcing products that are supporting me. Already, you know that Oxy Water was supporting me. You know that Orange 82 was supporting me. You know that Unidaji Capoeira was supporting me. Now we're going to have some other sponsors that's coming on board. So we're moving with steam. All right? And with that, Brother Hatim says peace.